Good afternoon, my lovely followers. It's your queen, Tara, aka Monarchist Party 07. And today, and TGIF, by the way, it's Friday. I know everybody's hyped for the weekend. I'm here to bring you yet another video. I know it's a bit dreary today, it's a bit rainy, but I just could not stand being stuck in the house all day. So here we are, walking again, chatting with your girl, with your queen. And today, I wanted to discuss something I mentioned yesterday during my anti-Zionist video. I wanted to talk about the future capitalist hellscape that is eventually coming. That's what I wanted to talk about, the future capitalist hellscape. And I'm completely serious. Like, our country is being taken over by megacorps and by the oligarchs. And these people, make no mistake, my lovely followers, they hate you. They hate me, they hate you, they hate all of us. Like, our futures are being ruined by a cabal of oligarchs and megacorps. They're making everything more expensive. Like, you have corporations like BlackRock buying up housing, making it more expensive for us to have housing. That's why none of us can get out of our parents' house before we're 30, because they make everything absurdly expensive. And not only that, not only do you have them making it expensive just for you to have housing, you got them making it expensive for you to have basic medical needs met. You know, you have the medical industrial complex that charges everybody out the butt for everything. And it makes everything expensive. Meanwhile, in Europe and other countries, you know, they have free healthcare. You know, they actually take care of their citizens. Not in America. In America, we have reverse socialism. We have socialism for the rich. Like, we bail out the big bankers. We bail out Wall Street. We bail out the oligarchs. But when the little guy needs a helping hand, nope, no one cares. When you need a leg up, when you can't afford your bills, when you're in debt, nobody bails you out. That's only for the billionaires and the megacorps. That's it. Like, we pay all these taxes in this country, and we get nothing in exchange. At least in Europe, you get, like, free stuff. You get free healthcare. You get public transport. You get decent walkable cities where you don't have to own a car. You know, they do things for that. They actually take care of their citizens. Wouldn't that be nice if America actually gave a crap about us? Actually, like, put us first? But they don't. They don't. They take our money and give us nothing. They send it to Israel. They send it to Ukraine. They launder it through foreign wars so that the arms manufacturers can enrich themselves and the military-industrial complex can enrich itself at everybody else's expense. That's what this empire is. And that is the problem. That is why everything is so expensive. That is why the price of everything is going up. It's all these forces conspiring to make our lives hard so they can profit. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, all our problems tie back to the oligarchy. To this small group of individuals who could literally fit inside of a stadium. There's so few of them, they could fit inside a small stadium, who make our lives hard. Our society could be run in a better way. It could be run in a more humanitarian way. It could be run more fairly. It could be run more equitably, but it's not. It's run by a bunch of greedy oligarch tyrants who hate us, who want us to own nothing and be happy. They want you to live in your crappy little apartment that you rent from them forever. You're never going to own anything. You're never going to own a home. You're just going to work in your crappy little apartment and work your crappy job that you got to compete with somebody from another country for that they imported. You got to compete with all the people that they imported, you know, that drive down your wages. Mass immigration, which this video is not about mass immigration. I feel like I have to save that for another video, but it's definitely a factor. It's that mass immigration was a factor in creating the capitalist hellscape. And look, I'm not against immigration, but let's be real. Like, we only need to import like the doctors and the super geniuses, you know. Like, if you're importing somebody just to do a regular job that an American could do, then they just let an American do it. Why are we bringing these people over? And I'm not against immigration, like I said. Like, I think there's certain people who are great, but like, we need to be careful. We need to be selective about who we let in. And I know the liberals are going to lose their mind when I say that. I really don't care. I'm not a conservative. I'm not. Like, you know from my previous videos that I don't agree with them on a lot of things. But I also don't agree with the left on everything, you know? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the left and the Democrat Party has all the solutions, because they don't. And as a matter of fact, a lot of their policies are also harmful to us. Just as harmful as the greedy Republicans. Both sides of the aisle are conspiring to create this capitalist hellscape that we're walking into. To ruin our future. To make our lives miserable. But they have made our lives so miserable and made it so expensive for us to reproduce and live a normal basic life. And have children and be happy. Then now they got to import these people because we don't want to do it. And they'll import some guy from India who will accept conditions that an American won't. And that's bull. Like, I'm not bashing India. I'm not bashing Indians. I'm sure there's some great Indian people who are a great addition to our country. I'm not saying there isn't. But like, you got to admit, that's why they want to bring people in from third world countries, because they don't have the standards that we do. It's like they'll live packed like sardines into a tiny little room and take a cheap wage that an American would never take. And I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And I'm not racist. I don't have anything against people from other countries. I'm just saying that that's the truth. Like, mass immigration drives down wages. And that's part of what created the capitalist hellscape. And I'm one of the few, like, more leftist people that are willing to admit that. That are not going to buy for the whole, oh, we should just bring everybody over. No. No. I'm sorry. Like, we got to do what's good for our citizens that were born here and pay taxes. The rest of the world is just going to have to figure their own problems out. I'm sorry, I hope their lives are good wherever they're at. I don't have any ill will for those people. But, like, we can't bring them here. Like, we cannot drive down wages for Americans and lower our standard of living. That's just the truth. And that's going to be controversial, and this is the point where I can't even probably share this video with some of my more leftist friends. Because they'll call me a racist for saying that. But I don't care. Like, I'm not owned by either side. I'm not owned by the right or the left. I'm not going to sit here and pander to them and endorse bad ideas that are harmful to my future just because the party that says they speak for me said so. No. Yeah, you don't own me, Democrats. You don't own me. You're not going to control me any more than the Republicans. Like, I'm my own woman. You're not going to control me. And when I feel like a policy is harmful, I'm going to speak out against it, no matter what. No matter what I'm called. Anyway, that ran aside. we've discussed the other factors. We've discussed the housing crisis, which is caused by BlackRock. We've discussed the crippling medical crisis caused by the medical industrial complex and the insurance companies who want to make everything absurdly expensive. Oh, you get injured? Well, now you're going to be in debt. They're going to charge you out the butt for everything because they don't care. Because the healthcare system in this country is designed to be expensive and keep you sick. You know? It is. Even though there's plenty of homeopathic alternatives, there's plenty of like viable alternatives. They don't want you to know about that. They're gonna ridicule you if you say that, because they want your money. That's what it comes down to. The medical industrial complex wants your money. They want to dope you up. They want to drug you up and take your money. They want to promote the poisonous vaccines. And I feel like it shouldn't be a right-wing or left-wing issue like people like me. When you talk about vaccines, all the leftists roll their eyes. And no, I don't trust them. And it's like, why would you trust our government? Why would you trust the medical industrial complex controlled by them? Like, this is the same government that committed war crimes all around the world for 70 years. Why the heck are you going to start trusting them? Like, isn't it funny how, like, the left will be against all the wars? They'll admit that our government is terrible and corrupt. But as soon as, like, it's medical, as soon as it's their precious vaccines, all of a sudden they want to believe everything daddy government has to say to them. All of a sudden, they're just going to walk lockstep with them and do whatever they say. All of a sudden. Isn't it funny how that works? And I'm bashing the left in this video. I don't like the right either, because the right is full of evangelical Zionist retards and brain-dead MAGA supporters who are just stupid beyond belief. Like Tennessee. Like, I'm sorry, but like, Tennessee is retarded for voting for a Republican. It's like, the Republican Party have proven themselves to be like one of the biggest liars in all of politics. They promised us no new wars, and they gave us a new war. They continued the quagmire in Ukraine. They want to start a war with Venezuela. They want to start a potential war with Nigeria. They have utterly lied to us. They promised to release the Epstein list, and they haven't, or if they do release it, it's going to be heavily redacted and changed and altered. You're never going to get the real Epstein files. Because if you had the real Epstein files, the public would realize that both sides are on it. People from both sides are on it. And Donald Trump's name is all over them. So you're never going to get the real Epstein files. You're never going to get them. The Republican Party are liars. And Tennessee is retarded for electing one. Because you don't reward bad behavior. You don't. You don't reward it. When a politician lies to you, when a party consistently lies to you, you don't reward them by re-electing them. You don't. You just don't. I'm not telling you to go vote for the do-nothing Democrats. I don't know who you should vote for. Maybe just vote Libertarian. Not because I really believe the Libertarian Party is going to do much. Because they probably won't, like every other party. But hey, at least you tried. At least you tried to pick an alternative. You could at least say that you tried. But no, you're going to pick the same party that has lied to you consistently for a whole year. Ever since Trump got in. Lie, 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 lie. No more wars, lie. He's going to release the Epstein files, lie. He's going to end the war on drugs, lie. They just made CBD illegal for no other reason other than the greed of Mitch McConnell and the Kentucky whiskey makers. Kentucky bourbon makers. That's it. Big alcohol. They get paid off to make laws on behalf of the corporations. Both sides do it. And they're full of crap. And if you reward a party when they lie to you, you reward bad behavior, then, well, you can't get mad when more of it happens. You don't get to be mad. Like, I don't want to hear Tennessee complain at all when the Republicans do something stupid, which they will. Like, you elected them when you knew they lied to you, and you rewarded that behavior. Like, you deserve whatever happens to you as a result of that. Whatever stupid laws they make, however they stab you in the back to side with corporations and the billionaire class, you deserve that. Because you voted for it. Like, I'm not telling you to vote Democrat. I know the Democrats are scumbags too. But, like, you cannot reward a party that lies to you. You cannot keep rewarding bad behavior with your votes. This is why the future is so bleak. Because this is why the capitalist hellscape is pretty much inevitable unless we have a peaceful national divorce. That is why I am such a tireless advocate of that, of the peaceful national divorce. Because it's the only way. We got to put aside all this nonsense where they want us to hate each other. They want the average, everyday American to hate each other. Because, yeah, we might disagree on some things. Liberals and conservatives might disagree. But you know what? We are not enemies. Like, we have one enemy, and that's Washington. You know, I am not advocating for violence. I want a peaceful national divorce. But, like, we only have one problem, like, and it's Washington. Washington is the problem. Washington is the problem. They're the enemy within. They're traitors. They hate us. And it's time we stop this culture war nonsense and quit fighting each other and speak out against Washington. You know, I do not condone violence. I do not promote violence in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm here for. I want peaceful national divorce. And it can be peaceful. Like I said in my national divorce video a few days ago, it can be peaceful. We can peacefully break up. And that is the only thing that might save our futures. We gotta break up. Because this empire, this federal empire, is controlled by the oligarchs. And they want to create a capitalist hellscape. They want to make your life miserable. They want to make your life so expensive you can't afford to live. They already are. I don't know how the average person gets by. Everything is so expensive. And they make it that way. They implement harmful policies that make crap more expensive. They send your money to foreign countries. Like when Trump sent all that money to Argentina. When he sent all that free stuff to Ukraine. When he sent all that stuff to Israel. But not to you, not to me, not to the people who live here and just want to have the best life possible. And that's what infuriates me. Like, this technology, this AI could be used to, like, literally finally free humanity from, like, me having to work jobs. Finally allow us to live lives of leisure. But no, the billionaires are not going to do that. They're not going to use it and implement it for the good of all of society. They're going to use it to line their pockets. Because they don't care. They would rather burn down the whole world and make money than save the world and not profit. They hate us. All they care about is their bottom line. They hate us. They're evil. They want your life to be unlivable. They never want you to be a homeowner. They never want you to be successful and have freedom and independence and actually enjoy life. No, they want you to slave away at some crappy job until AI finally replaces you. And then you will sit in your tiny little apartment with just enough room for a bed and maybe a small TV. And you'll get your UBI, whatever pittance they throw down to you, so you can get your little crust of bread and sit in your tiny apartment. And that's your life. They even want to take away everything. Like, remember the CBD ban? They hate us. They want to take away everything we enjoy. Anything you enjoy, anything that helps you relax. Like the things that you use as medicine. They want to ban it. They hate you. They hate you. I cannot overstate how much they hate us. I cannot overstate that enough, my lovely followers. They hate us. And if we continue to go down this path, and we continue to just silently go along, and we don't speak out, and we don't stop fighting amongst ourselves, and pretending that the two parties are somehow worth a crap when they're not. Both parties suck. It's time to admit that, and quit playing the game. Quit falling for this crap. Because both parties suck, and both of them have profoundly bad ideas that are harmful to our futures. I think about it, like when I said earlier about immigration, what are you going to do? Like, Trump wants to import these H-1B ones in from India. Like, what are you going to do with them when AI eventually takes jobs? What are you going to do? Are they just going to become a burden on the system? Are they just going to be there receiving UBI payments? Because you know what? If the more people there are, the less there is. So, like, the more people is receiving UBI, the less there is for you and me. So they're going to bring in a bunch of people that are literally going to be replaced within the next 10 years by AI. And then those people are going to become a burden on the system. You know, they're going to pop out 10 kids. You're going to have Mowgli the Jungle Boy and his 10 kids that are all living off you and are all causing you to have less. That's just how it is. It's supply and demand. Like, the more people there are, the less there is to distribute amongst them. And I'm not against immigration of certain people. But, like, why? Why do we need these unskilled laborers? They're going to be obsolete within the next 10 years and just be a burden. And I know I'm going to piss off both sides by making this video. I don't care. Like, I'm starting a new way. I'm starting a new path. It's like I'm ending the left-right paradigm because this is ridiculous. Both sides are full of crap. Both have bad ideas that are terrible for our futures. And it's time we stop pretending that one is the lesser of the two evils when they're both evil. Yeah, national divorce. I recommend national divorce. Peaceful national divorce. Non-violent. We break up. Because that's it. Like, we need local control. We need to break up this empire that only serves the oligarchs. It only serves to enrich them. It doesn't benefit us. Like, this empire does not benefit us. I had to film this twice, by the way. I didn't feel like I was like... I felt like I was kind of like incoherent the first time. I wasn't making good sense, you know? I feel like I did a better job this time. Probably still not perfect, but like better than the first one. At least I hope so. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Where I talked about the coming capitalist hellscape and those who helped create it. I talked about the medical industrial complex. I talked about the BlackRock buying houses. And the medical industrial complex also includes the pharmaceutical industrial complex. They want to charge you an arm and a leg for everything. They hate you, they hate me, they hate us. The oligarchs. And if we don't have this national divorce, and we don't come together as people within our different regions of the country and just say enough is enough and break up the empire peacefully, then we will have no future worth living for. We will have no future. It's not going to get better, folks. It's not. It's going to get worse and worse and worse continually. I think I have to wind this down though, because like my throat is getting sore because I've been talking so long. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, we'll probably end up discussing this kind of thing again. This is just my little discussion on the capitalist hellscape we're walking into and the factors that brought it about, that created it. If I forgot anything, I apologize. I tried to remember all the different factors, but like if I forgot anything, like I'll mention it in a future video. But anyway, like I hope you guys have a lovely day. Like I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it increased your knowledge. There is another video by another YouTuber that I will put in the comments when I post this. I found his video very helpful, and I think you guys need to give it a listen. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I will post it in the comments so you guys can go watch. He does a slightly better job explaining it than I do, but he and I agree on many points. So anyway, I hope you guys found this. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we're out.